Hi everyone, welcome to Edipedia World. I am C. Radhika Singhal. In the last class, we were discussing regarding operating cycle. So, operating cycle is the period when you are investing the cash into the business till the period you recover it back. Operating cycle for business depends upon its nature, like what type of business is there. It is a manufacturing or it's a trading business. But besides that, there are various other factors which affect the operating cycle of a business, like how the business is being operated. If the company has an effective mode of managing debtors, it will have a short debtor recovery period, right? So, operating cycle of a business could be managed or could be controlled basis the working capital policy of a company. So, in formulating a firm's working capital policy, an important consideration is the trade-off between the profitability and the risk. How? So, if a company has a conservative current asset financing policy, what will it do? It will rely more on the short term bank financing and more on long term sources. So, though on one hand, it will reduce the risk of the firm, but on the other hand, it will also enhance the cost of financing. And if the company has an approach of aggressive current asset financing policy, so in such cases, it rely more on the short term bank finance and it seeks as to reduce the dependence on the long term source of finance, but it exposes the firm to a higher degree of risk. But also, the benefit is there that it reduces the average cost of financing. So, when the cost of financing will reduce, automatically the profitability of the firm will increase. And apart from that, there are other policies also. So, you can say that a direct approach to a working capital control is to develop effective policies for each of the component of working capital. So by each of the component of working capital, I mean, what do you mean by working capital? Current assets. Current assets includes cash, inventory, debtors. So these are the different components of working capital. If there's a proper control around each of the component, this working capital could be controlled and can be managed. Let's discuss one by one each component and how to manage those. First is cash. What do you understand by cash management? Cash includes currency and also includes the bank balances, and apart from that, the marketable securities. So this is the same definition that we studied in our accounts also, that cash in bank includes cash, bank and the marketable securities which is readily convertible. So besides that, why the company holds cash? First is transaction motive. Transaction because it is a medium through which a company exchanges goods. So this is the most essential. That's why you hold cash. The next is speculative motive. By speculative, see, if you're not invested, if you have invested cash in somewhere, you get some return. And if you keep it into your business, there is no return out of it. These are the idle funds for the business. So how you are investing those business, when you are keeping it, when you are deploying those funds, for that purpose also, so as to earn the maximum return out of the assets that you're holding, is also one of the motive of holding a cash, because you are going to invest when it is the best time to invest it. And the last one is the contingency motive. Contingency, obviously, if there's an uncertainty in the business. So these motives are very simple, as you are holding cash at your home. The same way the business also hold cash. So how to manage this cash? Obviously, these motives has to be achieved by the business, but there are various models which are being given by various economists to manage cash. One of the famous model is Baumol model. Baumol model is same, if you remember, while studying at your executive level, the inventory management, where you studied economic order quantity. Baumol model is on the same terms. So EOQ is for handling inventory and Baumol is for cash handling. So it has the same assumption as of EOQ, that you know what is the annual requirement of a firm. You know that how much cash is required, and it is assumed that the cash has been requirement of the cash is even throughout the period. Basis these assumptions, Bond model has suggested the other assumptions are that the transaction cost per transaction remain constant. So what is transaction cost? Transaction cost is basically the cost which is involved in converting the marketable securities into cash. And the other cost is carrying cost. Carrying cost, if you are carrying the cash, obviously you are going to forego the interest which you can earn by investing in the marketable security. So the interest foregone on the marketable securities is called as carrying cost of the holding money. So there is an inverse relationship between the carrying cost and the transaction cost. If the carrying cost increase, the transaction cost reduces, and hence Baumol model says that the optimal point is where the carrying cost and the transaction cost is equal. So as per Baumol model, optimal size is computed the same way, which is under root of twice into annual cash required. So this is one assumption, that you know the annual cash requirement of the day. You know what is transaction cost per month, and the transaction cost is even every month for every transaction, divided by the carrying cost of ₹1 per annum. Let's do an example to understand it better. A company projects that cash outlay of ₹37,50,000 will occur uniformly throughout the coming year. Company plans to meet its cash requirements by periodically selling marketable securities from its portfolio. The firm's marketable securities are invested to earn 12%, so you know the carrying cost, and the cost of transaction of converting securities in cash is ₹40. So what you have to do, you have to use the Baumol model to determine the optimal transaction size for transfers from marketable securities to cash. So what is Baumol model? It says that under root of 2 into A, annual cash required, multiplied by transaction size divided by the carrying cost. So A is 37,50,000, transaction is 40, and the carrying cost is 12% per annum. So for ₹1 is 12, so 0.12. So optimal transaction size is 2 into 37,50,000 multiplied by 40 divided by 0.12. So this under root is on the whole transaction. After you solve this equation, under root is on the whole situation. So optimal transaction size is ₹50,000. This optimal transaction size represents that at this point, the transaction cost and the carrying cost is same. Now what will be the company's average cash balance? If the company has an OTS of 50,000, how much the average cash balance will be? 50 divided by 2, 25,000, because this is the company what is maintaining, so average is 50,000 divided by 2. How many transfers per year will be required? So number of transaction is 37,50,000, and what is the optimal transaction size that you're keeping? 50,000. So it requires 75 transactions to meet the 37,50,000 requirement, which is 37.5 divided by 50,000. Next is, what will be the total annual cost to company of maintaining cash balances? What would be the total cost if the company maintained an average cash balance of ₹50,000? So what is the annual transaction cost? You have 75 transactions to meet the requirement of 37,50,000 by considering 50,000 every transaction. 75 transactions. Each transaction will cost you ₹40. So 75 transactions will cost you ₹3,000. Carrying this 25,000, the annual carrying cost will be 25,000 into 12%. Now why we did divide by 12? Just go back to the assumptions first. It says that the carrying cost of cash is computed on average of the transaction size. This is the assumption, and that's why we took average of the transaction size. Now let's get back to the question again. We were on annual carrying cost. So average transaction size will be 50,000 divided by 2, because it says divide by 2, multiply by 12%. This curve with 3,000 is the annual carrying cost, and the relevant cost is when we solve that equation. So 37,50,000 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 40 into 0.12. You can also compute it this way. Either you can add the transaction cost and carrying cost, or you can compute the annual relevant cost like this, which is 6,000. Annual carrying cost is 50,000 multiplied by 12%, which is 6,000. Annual transaction cost is 37,50,000 multiplied by rupees 40 divided by rupees 1 lakh, which is equal to 1,500. So this gives you a total cost of 7,500. And the D part is, what will be the total annual cost to company of maintaining cash balance? So what is the average balance that the company is maintaining? 25,000. So we have to compute that what is the cost. So what is the carrying cost of maintaining 25,000? It is 3,000, because there are 75 transactions to maintain 37,50,000. 40 rupees is the transaction cost for every transaction. So for 75 transaction, it will be 3,000. Likewise, the annual carrying cost for the company is 25,000 is the balance maintained multiplied by 12%, which is 3,000. So the relevant cost of maintaining 50,000 cash balance will be 6,000 rupees. Next question is, what should be the total cost? D. If the company maintained an average cash balance of rupees 50,000. So now the company is maintaining 50,000 balance. So the carrying cost will be 50,000 into 12%, which is 6,000. And the transaction cost will be, if the carrying cost is 50,000, that means that every transaction is of 1 lakh rupees. For maintaining 37,50,000, there will be 37.5 transactions. Every transaction will cost 40. So 37.5 transaction will cost 1,500. So the cost of maintaining 50,000 is 7,500. That's all for today that we are going to discuss. Thank you so much and keep smiling.